All right, moving on to device fragmentation. Let's take a look at some trends that we've been seeing from 2015 to 2019. We've been putting out the mobile overview report for almost 5 years now. And one of the things that we can do is we can take a fairly long view of the time frame of smartphone trends. And with mobile, the underlying technology for our mobile overview report is a device detection system called Wordful that our company puts out. And it's the most accurate and complete device detection solution on the market. Back in 2011, there were about 15,000 device profiles that were tracked by this device detection solution. And at the time, we were being told that the world is consolidating. There won't be that many devices that are going to need to be tracked. That prediction turned out to be quite wrong. So in 2019, we're tracking over 63,000 device profiles. Now, granted, not all those devices are being used today, but a good measure of them are. And the pace at which we're adding devices continues to grow at around 20% per year. How many of them are actually being used today? Well, let's look at the statistics by continent. So in Asia, back in 2015, our usage data tracked about 5,700 devices. That number's doubled to over 11,000 devices. So, and that trend is pretty consistent in terms of the doubling across different continents. So we continue to see a pretty strong growth in particularly smartphone fragmentation. Looking at tablets, it's a little bit different picture. First of all, there aren't as many devices. The Apple iPad has dominated this market for many of the last 4 years. And that's one of the reasons why you don't see as many tablets being tracked. The market here seems to have slowed down, in my opinion. And most of the top devices are Apple iPad devices, and they tend to be used longer. The replacement cycle is slower than smartphones. So we haven't seen the same sort of growth. We see about a 10% growth, not as high as the smartphones. But how does this work, and how does it impact a lot of developers or websites in the real world? Well, we were looking at one of the reasons you might want to track fragmentation is to figure out, if you want to ensure that your website renders well or provides a good experience on phones, you might want to test it out on a certain number of phones. How many phones are you going to need? What we've looked at is, if you look at the top 21 smartphones, that will cover about 37% of usage in Asia, 56% in North America. So, it would be great if you could just check your results on a pretty small number of devices, like top 20, and be sure, but that doesn't quite get you there. And the problem is you have a very long tail of usage in terms of in order to get to like a 95% confidence threshold. You go out pretty far on what we call the kind of the long tail here, and we've kind of rank ordered the usage by smartphones in different continents, and the point here is to try to figure out, how many devices do you need to hit this 95% threshold. And on the next slide, we kind of break down where you cross over that line. So in Asia, you need about 534 devices to do it. Now, practically, no one will probably test on 534 devices, but there's different techniques that you can do in order to get that same level of confidence in terms of operating systems. Um, but this gives you an idea of the level of fragmentation that's occurring out there. The world is becoming more personalized to various people and their devices, and we're not moving toward a simpler environment. It's a more fragmented one.